All right, everybody, and welcome back to the broadcast. We've got rookie trucks here again tonight here at Kansas Speedway. Should be an interesting one. Joined by the one and only William Kern up in the booth.
Yes, sir. How you going doing tonight, there, Bryce?
Oh, ask me that question in about, I don't know, an hour and a half.
Yeah, we'll do. Hopefully it's that long and not 2.5.
Yeah, right. I mean, a lot of work for you tonight, though. We'll go ahead and kind of kick this off now and talk about it. So, got a lot of drivers signed up for tonight, which is absolutely amazing. We love to see that. We have what is called the IPL system here in the rookie series. For those of you that are familiar, you may already know, but if not, that is the incident per lap. So basically, what that means is you kind of the same way almost, I mean, as X is work in general. If you get a certain amount of X's, however, you will end up on a penalty sheet essentially, and every race after the IPL hits, you will be issued an EOL at the beginning of the race and at the beginning of each stage. So very, very crucial that you try to stay off that list if possible. Definitely don't want to find
Yeah,
yourself on that list.
it's not necessarily to punish drivers. It's more along the lines to try and push for cleaner races. Try to get people to, instead of trying to worrying about, you know, finishing top three, more along and wrecking people to get up there. It's more along to race clean, stay off the IPL, and you'll make your way up there without even having to force yourself to get up there, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, yeah, definitely not a punishment. Although, I mean, in turn, it does kind of create that a little bit. But again, to Will's point, winning isn't everything, especially if you can't do it cleanly. So it's just essentially an incentive to allow guys to just try to race a little bit cleaner, right? I mean, without an IPL or a quote unquote penalty system of some sort, there's really no real way to police the driving that's going on out there. So, again, just a little bit of an extra incentive for these drivers to try to keep it clean.
Yeah, Kansas is it's a really fun track. It's obviously you already know, everybody knows by now. It's my favorite track. I think they got a lot of grip tonight in these trucks as well. I ran some practice laps with Sean and a couple other people earlier, and I I can't foresee a lot of cautions tonight. Obviously, I'm hoping I'm not knocking myself in the rear end for that, but with the amount of grip there is, with how wide this track is, and with how these trucks are, they really shouldn't. There shouldn't be any reason why we don't have maybe just a few cautions and that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, so far, it's showing we've got, let's see, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. So, I mean, at this point, I mean, we've got a full house. I mean, not all the drivers have gotten out on the track to complete a lap as of yet, but I mean, 42 drivers. That's a pretty stacked field, and again, we're gonna have a blend of guys all around with these EOLs and everything going on. So it's gonna be an interesting one tonight. As Kern mentioned, this is a track that he is very fond of. Excuse me. Oh boy, gonna be a long night if we're doing that already. But a track that Will is fond of, I'm pretty fond of it myself, and I think all in all, from a surface level, Kansas is a pretty easy track. So hopefully, knock on wood, we'll be able to keep it clean. And of course, there are a couple nuances to this track that can, jump out to get you if you're not careful. But I think we should have some good, clean racing in here tonight. And we got a couple names that are returning back to the series that were here for a brief stint last season, and they're making an appearance tonight. I'm not sure if they'll stay full time, but should have an interesting blend of drivers here for this race at Kansas. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I'm watching practice right now too, and it's looking pretty good so far. I'm not seeing too many people going off track or losing grip or anything like that. So again, we're hoping for a clean race tonight. And this is a great track to actually, get that clean racing too. So hopefully they can get there. self-esteem up, and we can move forwards from here, and hopefully have some cleaner races from here on out, especially with the IPL hitting tonight too. Oh, and it's a money race tonight too. I just remembered that.
Oh yeah,
So these guys are racing for cash, man.
yeah, and we'll see just exactly how that pans out for some of these guys. Again, the IPL is going to add another layer of that of potential difficulty, but I think our guys can handle it. And again, money racing on the line, so we've been racing for points, but now we're racing for a little bit of cash as well. And I'm looking forward to it, man. We'll see what happens. I'm sure we can get a clean race here tonight. And apart from that, man, 117 laps, of course, 2 stages. Everything is pretty standard there. Nothing too crazy there. I'm looking here at the scoring pylon that we have here on the left, and of course, I would say honestly I would say the top 5, really top 10 even. I mean, David Meacham has shown that he's had pace all season long. Of course, Matthew Chase, teammate to him as well, has been close. When he's not been up here in the booth and been on the track, he's had some instances of greatness. And KT McCann, he's not flashy, but he's a driver that is gritty and can get it done. So we see him up there, as well as Randy Post and Bobby Grady making his appearance last week at Nashville. Of course, didn't get the start that he wanted, literally and figuratively, but able to bounce back after that restart violation. And again, Chris, I believe we got the proper pronunciation now of Chris Winiger, I think it was actually. So I still beefed it up. Yep. But nonetheless, he showed some speed at Nashville, and he's really starting to put things together here as well. So Reed Sanders is a driver that has been plagued with a little bit of issues, not necessarily so much all on his end, but been caught up in a couple of things. So, he's had, glimpses of speed as well and just not able to execute. So, a lot of things, a lot of storylines kind of here so far, and we'll see who's looking to add to their story here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, just because 31 is my favorite number. Hopefully, Matthew can bring that number to Breakthrough Lane tonight. But Meacham is he's definitely a quick driver. He's been up front quite a bit. Like you said, Grady's great as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see Sean up there tonight too. I was running some practice laps with him earlier, so. I feel like tonight's going to be some really good racing. Again, I'm hoping I'm not jinxing that at all, but I'm looking forward to seeing this tonight.
Yeah, I mean, again, a great combo here. I mean, the trucks are, for the most part, relatively simple here. I'm actually watching, shout out to Randy Post. I know he's broadcasting his POV here as well. And it looks like, for the most part, I mean, we're pretty flat out here. Now, that's not going to continue over the entirety of the race, of course, once the wear goes and stuff like that. But, yeah, man. And I also see here in the chat, we've got, in the voice chat, we've got Justin Nava making his return as well. So he's been handling some things with work. But, Nava's a guy that has a lot of speed as well. So I'm sure he'll try to make his way up there. He's scored in 16th right now. But I know, once it actually comes time to the green flag, he'll be able to improve on that. And I'm sure we'll see him up there as well.
Yeah, and back to the IPL list. Obviously, a lot of these guys, if they're on the IPL list, they're not going to be able to qualify tonight either. So, whoever is not on the IPL, that's an instant gratification for them, because they're going to be starting at least in the front half of the field, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, really, it's pretty huge advantage. I mean, to not have to deal with that for multiple reasons, and the reason being is just, I mean, we've got 15, 16 people on the IPL, maybe more than that.
On the IPL, yeah, I think there's more than that.
Yeah, so I mean, already getting a huge jump start on the field, and then of course as well, the drivers that are not able, or excuse me, the drivers that are on the IPL list are unable to qualify. So I mean, that's another advantage.
24 drivers.
Yeah, so we've got, I mean, that's literally half the field, just over half the field that is unable to qualify and will be getting sent to the rear end of the field at the beginning of every stage. So if you're not on that list, you're already, I mean, you can qualify dead last and you're going to start, I mean, 24th, just about. I mean, a little bit earlier than that. So an instant advantage there. And again, that hits at the beginning of the race and at the beginning of all of the stages as well. So
Yeah, I'm kind of going through here because I think we have a. Oh, never mind. I think Christopher Dyke isn't even here tonight. So, I say he had a drive-through tonight, but I don't think he's even here.
yeah, and I'm sure there's a couple people that are on that list, of course, that aren't going to make tonight's race. But stand by for just one moment. I'm getting a call. Hey, what's up, doofus?
Yeah, I just kind of let him know just now on that too, not to qualify, but you can let him know again, obviously in driver's meeting or whatever. It doesn't matter at that point; they've already done it. So
Yeah, yeah. So perfect. All right, well, a little behind the scenes action of what goes in behind all the broadcasts that we do. We've got 42 drivers that have turned a lap here in practice and 42 drivers that are scored. So, I mean, I know I said we had a full house earlier, but we are literally at the full house. And I'm not talking the one with Bob Saget either, RIP. Yeah, so crowded field tonight. I mean, this is our largest field that we've had across all the seasons and both seasons that we've done. So, yeah, this could get real interesting. I hope we stay at that hour and a half mark, but potential to go over for sure. But you guys see it there. Practice come to an end. So these drivers will be making their way around Kansas for 3 laps here, one being an out lap that kind of doesn't really count, but we'll see who will crown their spot at the top of the scoring chart with a pole lap. We saw some quick drivers up here. So we'll see. We'll hop on board with David Meacham. We'll see if we can't hop on him first. We saw him at the top of the scoring chart during practice. So you see David getting a good exit, really setting up here. I wonder if he's going to do lap 2 here. I would have liked to seen him cut that apron just to get a little bit more time there, but nonetheless, again, he was able to hold the top spot in practice. We'll see if he's able to do that here. It looks like he's getting a little loose off turn 2. To be expected on your first kind of full running lap here. Tires just getting up to temp here. We see David Meacham riding that high line. Yep, and there we go. He's cutting that dog leg now, so it looks like this should be his setup lap. Yep, and he did exactly what I was wondering that he was going to do. We saw it before where that first run, you really want to ride the top, and then on that second lap, once you got the heat in the tires, duck down to the bottom line and really wrap that white line and try to take the shortest distance around the track. So we'll see if he gets a good exit off of 4. And it looks like he does. He's going to be cutting that apron again here. Let's see what that does. But I think if he holds it good, that should put him towards the top. And there it is. But Randy Post takes it away. So David Meacham does get the pole for a split second. And Randy Post takes it away here. We got Bobby Grady on the track now. Let's see. He's historically been pretty decent at qualifying. See what Grady can do here. Sean Happick as well, putting himself in the third spot. We'll see if that holds. And we shouldn't have too many drivers qualify here, so. Sean Wilder now takes the pole. So a lot of movement up on top of the scoring chart, which is what we love to see. Sean Wilder may have been holding something back there in practice. And Grady gets a good cut on the apron here. Let's see. Scored in 20th for now. Let's see if he jumps up any. He does to the second place spot. We hop on board with Christian Oval as he passes the line. Travis George now gets himself in 5th. We got Joel Ulrich now. So far scored in 21st, but this should be his second lap, so we'll see if he can improve on his time. Gonna probably lose a little bit of time there. And Ulrich moves up one spot into 20th. And I believe that is going to be it for our qualifiers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much to worry about tonight with tire wear either. Again, running the practice laps earlier, I was only getting down to, 85, 86% on my right front. Everything else was in the mid 90s. So it's a pretty cool track. Honestly, there could be some pit strategy tonight too to hang on to some tires.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well. So looks like Joel Ulrich still just taking advantage of this qualifying session. We're running a couple extra laps here just to try to get a few extra laps of practice here. But with that being said, we're going to give it a slight intermission. Go ahead and give these drivers their driver's meeting and start handing out some EOLs. And we will be back here shortly for the the official starting grid. So we will see you guys here momentarily.
Make sure they understand that when to just, keep their head on a swivel and don't make any crazy movements. If you're on with an EOL or whatever, just go to the bottom of the track and do what you need to do. I hate this.
All right. If you just want to let me know when you've got all of that handled. Make sure I'm not, there we go. All right, and let's go ahead and give you guys, while these EOLs are still being handled out here, let's go ahead and show our starting lineup here. Sean Wilder able to get the pole here tonight at Kansas, so congrats to him on the pole. Starting on his outside, we've got the number 1 of Bobby Grady. Starting in the second row, we've got Randy Post and David Meacham. Behind them in the third row, Travis George and Sean Happick. In the fourth row, Thomas Long, Patrick Camburn. And in the fifth row, we've got Corey Moore and Randy Cornwell. And in the sixth row, Brad Doer and KT McCann. All right, starting in the seventh row, we've got Mike Kuffel. Shout out to Chris for telling us to do that. It is Kufel. Just had to throw that out there. Ben Thomas starting on his outside. Hunter Jock and Josh Parker in the eighth row. Jason Kraft and Colton Lanford here in the ninth row. So 2 drivers that are making their return, teammates as well, starting side by side in that ninth row. And in the rounding out your top 20 here, we've got John Shields and Joel Ehrlich. So I think Christian Noble there in 21st was the only driver that, or was the last driver to qualify. So I think these EOL should be wrapped up here pretty soon, and we will get this grid started. Are we all set to go here? All right, well, not sure why I am unable. That's why, because my voice was off. All right, so looks like we are getting these drivers out on the track. Karen, do you think we need to extend, or can't hear you if you're talking, by the way?
I probably will delay it, yes.
Okay. If you got it handled, then you're good. All right, so the lights are going to be going back on the pace car here. Again, we've got about 24 drivers that have to get resorted here after all the EOL, so we're going to give them time, of course, to get caught up and let them get this thing sorted out. And yeah, that's going to make this fuel window interesting here as well. I'm being told that the fuel window is going to be anywhere between 27 to 30 laps, so just make sure. Again, we got a full field tonight, so let's hop towards there. Yeah, so it looks like they're should be wrapping up, getting everything sorted out here soon. All right, and it looks like the pace car does have its lights off, so Looks like we've got everything sorted here now. Lights are back on the pace car as soon as I speak. But one more time around and we should be all set here, ready to go. You see the long line here on the inside, again, just showing all the drivers that are on that IPL list. Well, who do you got your money on tonight? Literally. Hunter West says, what are the Larry Mack trends of the race? I would imagine not too much fuel and tire strategy saving, because I'm sure we will have quite a few yellows here tonight with 40 drivers on track. Hopefully that is not the case, but yeah, trends of the race are going to be save your tire, use the high line to make a pass if you need to, and just stay out of trouble here tonight and don't make any mistakes. There we go. Pace car is off. Drivers now getting into the Geico restart zone. We got Sean Wilder and Bobby Grady starting on your front row here. Green flag out at Kansas. Sean Wilder getting a good start here. Going to have this whole turn one to himself. Too wide just behind him and Bobby Grady. You see Offset staggered almost 3 wide behind him as these drivers are fighting for every position that they can on this first lap. Sean Wilder leads the first lap here at Kansas Speedway. Bobby Grady close in tow. Randy Post looking to make a move as well on the front straightaway.
Yeah, we got some 3 wide up front already.
Yeah, these guys are really battling for these positions, trying to get all they can while they can, and I'm here for it. Great start so far for Sean Wilder. Hop on board now with KT McCann, 2 wide. Patrick Camburn on his outside. And getting dicey up front now. Bobby Grady looks like he may have caught the apron. I'm not exactly sure. That puts him off pace, under attack now from Sean Happick and Randy Post. Bobby Grady, though, riding that white line, gets a little loose on that apron. Sean taking it 3 wide around the outside. I think Sean Happick gets the lead there. Around the outside now, Sean looking to make his way as they're 3 wide battling for second.
Oh, we got
KT getting loose.
Sideways, sideways, sideways. Yep.
He holds on to it just barely, though.
Wow.
Great save. Great heads-up driving from everybody.
Well, who was that? KT, I think, right?
Yep, KT McCann goes for a little bit of a Tokyo drift around turn 1 and 2, but again, they're able to keep it clean. Sean Happick now out to the lead and looking to extend that lead as they're battling for close position at second behind him. Do a quick trading paints refresh here, and then we should be all set to go. But yeah, Sean Happick now says, I'm here to play, gentlemen.
Oh, wreck up front.
Yep, and we see the 84 around now.
I think that was the 44.
The 84, it looked like. Yep, 84, Patrick Camburn in the outside wall. Doing a good job of just keeping it up in the wall, not pulling down in front of everybody, letting everybody sort themselves out. See if we can't hop on board here with Patrick and see. We know they were racing hard up front. Oh, yeah, Patrick Camburn just kind of hops in front of the 13 of David Meacham there, not totally clear. We've seen this happen a couple times at Kansas, Will, where the dog leg, it's optional. It's not, something that is a mandatory kind of line. So Patrick looks like he just expects David to be a little bit lower than he is and just kind of drives across his front bumper and gets him and David put into the wall. So
Yeah, I think I'm gonna end up mentioning that too. Usually when I'm racing here, I don't use that apron unless I'm alone or if I know that, nobody's gonna be to my outside or gonna be coming to my outside. Because again, when you get down there, you don't know what the driver outside you is going to do. You don't know if they're not going to give you enough room or if they are. And it's just, and also the transition going from that flat to that banking can mess you up too.
yeah, absolutely. So we see our first caution of the night, but it is a caution, but that was at the front of the field, and we only have two drivers get involved in that one. So again, great job, great heads up driving from KT just a lap or two prior, and good heads up driving from those two to kind of keep their mess away from everybody else, and everybody else able to get around them pretty clean. So, I mean, again, a caution nonetheless, but these drivers are able to hold on to it and keep it clean. Hey, not to cut you off. What's up, Sean? This is Bryce up here in the High Velocity Racing League booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Well, I got to say, man, I love to see it. An incredible power move on the outside there to get yourself into the first place spot, man. I mean, you're a driver that, has preached all season about, making the right move at the right time and being patient. And we kind of see a little bit of lack of patience from you there, not in a bad way, but great move to get yourself to the lead and stay out of the mess, man.
Oh, they were getting a little squirrely behind me, and I said, you know what? I'd have a better chance of just getting around these guys than hanging out here. So I just decided to go for it there. And I think there's a little checkup on Grady, which slowed up another guy there or somebody, and I was able to get around him. So
Yeah, well,
definitely need this caution to make stage. So
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you had a pretty decent qualifying lap there, and you really picked your move at the right time to get yourself up front, and we love to see it, man. Get you some laps led tonight to see the lights are off on the iRacing pace car. So good luck to you. Hope you get a good start, man.
all right, thank you.
Yeah, not a problem at all.
Leader, take the inside.
All right, well, that was the 52 of Sean Happick, and you heard it here. He kind of wanted to avoid being in the hornet's nest, which is a pretty good strategy. And I mean, the move was just well timed out on his part, and I mean, not even to credit of his own, but as he mentioned, and again, not to take anything away from him, but driver's getting a little bit loose there on the inside. It looks like Bobby Grady kind of got the white line there on the apron, and that checks him up, and Sean's there on the outside and is able to carry the momentum, not having to lift. So that slingshots him to the front of the pack, and for the first time this season, I believe, we see Sean Happick leading the field, and that's a sight that we thought we were going to see a little bit more up to this point, but so far, so good.
Yeah, I told you, man. With our practice runs earlier, he was showing some good speed, so I'm hoping he can make something happen tonight. I'm sure he's hoping for a podium. Personally, I'm hoping to see him in victory lane.
Yeah, Sean's a driver that is, I mean, really the founder of this league, but I know he's ready to get that monkey off his back and get that 52 high velocity racing Toyota Tundra into victory lane. Green flag, though, back out here for the second time at Kansas, and now you'll see all these drivers are lined up 2 by 2 across the field. EOL is not being issued on every restart, just at the stages, so these guys are going to be fighting for everything they can get, but Sean Happick gets a great start here in the restart zone. He's going to ride that momentum down on the bottom line and try to get a little bit of a breakaway, but we see Randy Cornwell and Bobby Grady close in tow as well. Maybe not the best start for Randy Post as he started on the outside. He's now in 4th place, but Sean Happick, though, out front, and truck looks good out there. We'll see if he can hold on to it.
Yeah, these guys are, especially up front. I'm not seeing too much out back, which is good to see. Not too much 3-wide action back there, but up front they are battling for every square inch of this track.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these drivers looking to get what they can while they can, and again, money on the line here tonight as well. So we're about coming to that point where we're going to be getting up to halfway here in this first stage. So drivers know that this is go time. And so far, though, I mean, I know we had a wreck early on, but the way these drivers are avoiding these accidents and driving, I think we're going to have ourselves a hell of a race here tonight.
I am really hoping for it, and this is a good track to be doing it. It's, like I said, cool temperatures, so I don't see any reason why we can't have some good, clean racing.
Yeah, we see Sean now electing to block the run of Randy Cornwell there on the outside line now. Not the best line for tires, but that is one hell of a line to run if you want to get a run down the backstretch, and that's exactly what he looks to do. And dirty air, not so much a factor in these cars as they would in the next gen or even the Gen 6, but still, nonetheless, dirty air is a thing. And Sean recognizes where Randy wants to run, and he goes up high and takes it away from him. See some drivers now 2 and 3 wide about mid-pack here. Again, drivers trying to get what they can while they can. Coming to the stage, trying to get those ever so important stage points for the playoffs.
Yeah, first stage is going to be at 29, so we're almost about halfway there.
Yeah, drivers 2 wide now here in the back. We see Trey Young fighting for the 17th spot. Thomas Long getting a little loose on the exit of 4, but they keep it clean. And these drivers are staggered 5 wide on the front stretch, which we've seen at Kansas before. So a lot of real estate out there on the front stretch for these drivers to try to make moves when they can.
Oh, we got another one sideways, Bobby Grady.
Yep, and we got a couple cars going around now. So that's going to bring out our second caution of the night. Looks like some more trouble potentially for the number 1 of Bobby Grady. We'll hop on with him and we kind of get a glimpse of it here. We'll back it on up just a little bit. See him and Sean Wilder side by side going into turn 1. Sean gets a good run underneath Grady, and yeah, Grady just running his line, not really clear of 99 to Sean Wilder, and just about keeps it safe, but gets a love tap there from another driver up front. I wasn't able to see who that was, and 64 makes contact as well. So, you know, not a whole lot of drivers getting caught up. I wish, you know, Grady should have held the brake a little bit there coming back up on the backstretch, but nonetheless, still an incident that had potential to be far bigger than it was, and we only get 3 cars collected, so. And then that's something we kind of touched on last week with Grady as well. Hell of a driver. He's got speed, but just some small errors that he makes here and there that kind of really hinder his race. So Grady, if he can get those little mistakes cleaned up, he'll find himself in a lot better position here for these races. Again, the speed is there. The talent is there. It's just, you know, kind of like we talked about. It's all about getting a race, you know, put together, and if he can do that, man, he could be a force to be reckoned with here in this series. But Bobby Grady bringing out the second caution here of the night with the 99 of Sean Wilder involved as well. And here we see, this is another thing that I kind of want to touch on. We see a couple cars making their way onto pit road towards the rear of the field. See if that's potentially for any damage or if that's going to be fuel related. We know fuel, not necessarily an issue here now with these cautions, but these drivers were close to their fuel number for this first stage. So a couple guys towards the back, not really fighting for stage points anyways, going to go ahead and top off here. So that way, when this green flag does drop again, that they'll be able to make their way towards the front as much as they can and not have to worry about that fuel being an issue. We see potentially a couple drivers showing to be scored out. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but 42 that we had here on track. So Sean Happick and Randy Cornwell now making up your first row here on this restart. All right, so I believe we do have the lights off on the pace car, and we do. So we'll see if Sean Happick can get another good start here. Another good restart there for Sean Happick. Makes his way now down back towards that white line. Again, we see these cars spread out 2-3 wide on these restarts. And Sean Happick able to hold on to the lead. Huge move there for, I didn't see who that driver was, but making his way back towards the top. It may have been the 9 or maybe the 99 of Sean Wilder making his move. Baird trying to get back to the outside, close behind Travis George. And the 45 of Corey Moore, another name that has found himself up front. A couple guys getting squirrely there off turn 4. Got one down in the grass. Green flag, though, still out in the air. A couple drivers off pace. A lot of guys now being shuffled. Huge checkup off turn 4, but we keep it clean, and the yellow flag does not come out. We're still green. Sean Happick now under a little bit of trouble here from the 22 of Randy Cornwell. We'll see if he can hold on. Again, Sean looking to take that line on the outside and get his run on the exit off the corner, going to the front stretch, 2 wide behind him. That's what Sean's going to want to see in his mirror, though. Again, Sean Happick sticking to that outside line for now. Randy Cornwell on his bumper, close in tow. Got about the first 20 or so cars, though, still kind of in this lead group, all within a good bit of each other. And again, as we saw, we kind of had a little bit of a check up there towards the back of the field. Off turn 4 kind of separates these drivers a little bit, but Randy Cornwell now trying to dive to the inside, just trying to see what he can do, see if he has anything in the tank for Sean Happick here. With just a couple laps left to go here in stage number 1. A little bit of movement now. Again, kind of at the tail end of this lead pack here. A couple of these drivers like KT McCann and Chris Weiniger are looking to make their way into the top 10, try to get these stage points.
Yeah, Matt Chase just came down pit road, so I'm not sure if that was scheduled or something happened.
I believe he was the driver that was involved in whatever caused that checkup off turn 4. Kind of got a quick glimpse of it. Mike Kufel, though, looking to make his move on the number 45 of Corey Moore. We know that those K&W Motorsports drivers have really been putting their time in on practice at these tracks, and it looks like so far it's paying off. They've got 3 drivers, I believe, here in the top 10. I see Sean Wilder up there, Mike Kufel in the 7th place spot, and Chris Weiniger just outside the top 10, but nonetheless, maybe those slight moment.
Was really close. Car in the wall, car in the wall.
Yep, car in the wall comes back down on the track. He's holding on to it. He's trying to save it. 4 wide momentarily, a little sketchy, but they keep it clean. Opens the door now, though, for Chris Weiniger to get back in this mix. 2 wide now with KT McCann. A little bit of a moment there for the 11 of Reed Sanders, but again, they keep it clean and we stay racing. Looks like Sean Happick now has built himself a little bit of a gap. These drivers still kind of sorting themselves out after that quick little moment that we had there. Chris Weiniger, though, looking to make a move now on KT McCann. It looks like whoa, 98, way off pace. Car on the wall, and that's going to be the conclusion of the stage. I have to go back and see what happened there with the 98 and why he was off pace like that. Just nowhere to go for, I believe it was the number 95 of KT McCann that got involved. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so
That is stage.
yeah, a little interesting there to see. I mean, let's try to pull up the dashboard here and see. I won't let us do it live, but John Shields kind of a little bit slow in turns 1 and 2, and a little bit of contact there between him and the 11 of Reed Sanders. Try to take a look at this again. I mean, the 98 does come down a little bit, but just gets tagged on that left rear from Reed Sanders. Holds on to it, but just nowhere to go for KT McCann. He's trapped in the middle and a car right in front of him. And again, just nowhere to go for him. We'll hop on board with his cockpit view and see what that looked like from his point of view. Also, it looks like KT, I mean, was trying to slow up for it, and it looks like KT may have gotten hit from behind as well. Yeah, I mean, I think either way he would have made contact, but nonetheless, they put Sean Happick, first stage win of the season. I know we had a chat with him briefly before. Well, let's get him on in here. I know he's going to be excited to talk about this. Sean Happick gets it done in stage 1, your first stage win of the season, if I'm not mistaken, man. How does that feel to finally get that monkey off your back?
Dude, it was the first lap I led this season. I'll take it.
Yeah, well,
to accompany that with a stage win, I'll take it.
Guess them pointers helped out, huh?
Yeah, you know, sometimes teaching other people really helps you remember the things.
Yeah, yep.
So yeah, I had a pretty good teacher on Kansas. Learned some tricks and maybe how to save some tires. So hopefully it'll pay off in the long run.
Yeah, we're rooting for you up here. Hopefully, we can get you in the victory lane. You definitely deserve it. I mean, everybody out there really is hoping for it, but I'm hoping to see that 52 up in victory lane tonight.
Oh yeah, I got some leader take the inside. Sorry about that. No, I got some good competition with Post and Cornwell. Been kind of staying with me, so.
Yeah, well, you make your way to the front and you're able to stay there. We're getting some decent green flag laps here. Are we make sure we're getting those EOLs out there too? I believe you're on it now, but just in case you remember they're occurring. But yeah, I mean, able to make your way up front there pretty early on in that stage and able to hold on to it. So green flag laps now kind of really coming into these guys' favor. You know, you're able to get into a rhythm out there. So truck looks good up front, man. I saw Randy Cornwell, of course, as you mentioned, had some good speed as well. So what are you looking to do to try to hold off Randy Post and Randy Cornwell and try to stay up front?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think they kind of caught on to my line a little bit there at the end, so I'm just gonna have to run it better, run it quicker, and just outlast these guys.
Absolutely. Well, man, I know we're getting some EOL sorted out, but I'll let you get back in there with your team. I know you got a couple new additions in there as well, so good luck to you in the second stage.
All right, appreciate it, guys. Hope to talk to you again.
Yeah, so that was stage 1 winner, the number 52 of Sean Happick. Again, able to get his way out front early on in this race and able to hang on to that lead. So congratulations to him. As he mentions it, kind of the first laps he's been able to lead all season and compounds that with a stage win as well. So that's something you'll definitely take if you're 52 of Sean Happick. But I know Randy Post and Randy Cornwell have shown their speed up front as well all season with Sean Wilder as well. And I feel like Corey Moore is kind of the Bobby Grady of last season, where he's quiet, he doesn't say a whole lot, not necessarily a flashy driver, but always makes his way towards the front of the field as well. And he's been having a solid run up front as well, able to get up there. Mike Kufel up 6 spots, puts him scored in 7th, and Christian Noble as well had a little bit of moment where he was driving through the grass, but I think it was him, I'm not sure, but nonetheless he's still scored in the top 10 here as well. So a lot of these drivers are really kind of staying up front there and taking advantage of not having to be on that IPL list. But yeah, lights are still on the pace cars. We're, again, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast with the IPLs, a lot of movement here at the end of these stages. But we'll only have to do this one more time after this, so see who can hold on to it and who can make their way there. Be there at the end of this stage when it matters. We'll run down, though, through your top 10 as we get these things sorted out more. Sean Happick, of course, scored in the first place spot. Randy Post just behind him on his outside. Randy Cornwell scored in third on the inside, and Sean Wilder on the outside. So top 4 drivers have shown some good speed tonight. We'll see if they can continue to make that trend again. We just touched on Corey Moore scored in the 6th place position, and Travis George scored in 5th. So again, another K&W Motorsports driver as well. And the number 9 of Mike Kufel scored up.
How many laps are?
So Colt Lanford, again, a driver that we've saw for a brief stint last season. First race of his season so far here in High Velocity Racing, but he makes his way up towards the 10th place spot here. So scored in the top 10 for Colton. Teammate and friend of his as well, just behind him in the, I believe he'll be in the 96. I think we have a number issue tonight, but he's going to be technically in the 96. Let's hop on board. Let's take a look at the outside of his truck and see if that is correct. Yeah, so he'll be in the 96. That's Jason Kraft. Now we do see the lights are officially off on the pace car. You see the long line of drivers here on the inside.
Yeah, as long as we stay clean tonight the way we have been, I think a lot of these guys will end up coming off the IPL, which is going to be great for me.
Yeah, you have your hands full, but green flag back out again. Another great restart for Sean Happick. Drivers now 2 and 3 wide. Looking to take advantage of these starts. You see Sean Wilder and Randy Post battling for that 3rd place spot. Sean elected to take the low line. Looks like he's got a decent amount of momentum. We'll see if he can carry that off the corner. Hops up in front of the 54 to block that run, but the 54 makes the crossover. Mike Kufel looking to come up in front of the 45 of Corey Moore as he sees his teammate battling up there with Randy Post. Sean Wilder and Randy Post having a hell of a battle for these first 2 laps, just swapping positions back and forth from high to low on the line. Randy Cornwell trying to get to the quarter of Sean Happick, makes a hard left turn down the tri-oval. Looks like Cornwell may have actually got that lap, and he does get the edge out on Sean Happick for now, but we'll see. Sean looking to ride that top line. He should get the momentum off the corner. We'll see if it'll be enough to clear him into turn 3. Dives down low now to the inside. Now Sean Happick is going to get that lap, I believe. So close battling up front here between these 2 drivers. Sean Happick now riding that low line. That's going to be better on the tires. Coming up just a little bit, but Randy Cornwell is there. A lot of battles up front here. You see Colton trying to make a move on Mike. Not able to get it done there in turns 3 and 4. Randy and Sean, though, really going back and forth now. Sean under pressure now again from the other Randy and Randy Post. Sean falling off here just a little bit in stage 2, but we'll see if he will have a tire advantage.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm curious. Did he take tires?
I can see if it'll tell me that. I'm not sure if it will or if it won't. I would think that it did, though, or that he did, however. I don't see a reason why he wouldn't have.
I wouldn't have.
Well, not everybody is Mr. William Kern.
Yeah, I don't think I would have, to be honest with you. Like I said, these tires are going to last pretty good tonight, and I'd love to have that extra set at the end just in my back pocket.
Got one up in the wall. John Happig now settling in third. Nobody really running away with this race up to this point, though. I mean, these top drivers are pretty clean. I mean, the top 7 through 10 or so, I mean, they're all within pretty close. I mean, any one of these drivers makes a mistake, and they're going to go towards the tail end of this line. See David Meacham now, after that early incident, back up to the 10th place spot. Looking to make a move on the 96 of Jason Kraft. Gonna be riding that high line. I don't know if he got into the wall on entry there or what. And it looks like he gets a good exit off turn 2. Gonna carry that momentum down the backstretch under a little bit of attack, though, from the number 60 and Brad Dorr. David Meacham, though, just riding that high line, trying to get that exit speed off the corner. Bryce Tucker now under a little bit of pressure from Tim Rourke on the 44.
Yeah, Sean's kind of changed up his... Oh, second place in the wall a little bit. Kind of loses some momentum there.
Yeah, that brings Sean back on his outside. We see the 30 of Aaron Creighton as well, just trying to see if he can capitalize on this battle with the 44 and the 7. If those two drivers get to battling, he might be looking to make a move there. We see KT McCann just close behind him. KT's probably just riding around. He's been caught in a little bit of early trouble early on in this race, so... Yeah, the 54, that must have been the driver that got in the wall. We see him kind of falling back a little bit and potentially in the wall or close to the wall again. Sean Wilder now looking to attack on Randy Post. We got 2 Seans and 2 Randys all fighting in the top 4 here.
Yeah, I noticed Sean has kind of changed, Sean Happig has kind of changed his line here a little bit. I think he got tired of Randy kind of taking off on him, and now he's all up on the high line, not even bothering to go low like he was doing. So we'll see if he changes that up now that he caught him or not.
Yeah, and he does. He's just almost to that right quarter in close proximity, though. Randy Cornwell now trying to take that line away from Sean Happig.
So the high line is a very quick line here. It's great to do, but it will heat your tires up quick, and it will wear them out as well. So
yeah, we'll see. I mean, even to Will's point, you know, that high line is going to shred those tires up a little bit more than the bottom, but that doesn't mean that one driver can't kind of execute it a little bit better than another. So we'll see if Sean is able to make a run, and it looks like he's going to have a slight run here going into turn 1. We'll see if he elects to stay high, and he does. Really getting close to that wall, maximizing all the track that he can in turns 1 and 2. Just really trying to prioritize that exit speed. Justin Alba riding around in the back scored on the 27th, so I'm not sure if he's one of those drivers on the IPL list or not, but usually a driver that has a little bit more speed. I know he's been out for a little bit, though. So maybe just trying to get back into the swing of things or get off that IPL list if he's on it. Randy Cornwell, though, still out front. Leading all 42 of these drivers around Kansas Speedway. John Shields under a little bit of pressure from Trey Young.
Oh, Sean got up in the wall just a little bit there.
Yeah, we see Randy Post now making a little bit of a run. Sean's going to be able to hold on to second place now. Jason Kraft and David Meacham still battling for the 8th place spot. David and Jason looking to split these two drivers in the middle.
Oh, man, what great racing that is.
Oh, 45 gets a little loose, hangs on to it, though. David Meacham riding that outside gets a great run down the backstretch and clears all three of them. But Jason Kraft looking to come back on the inside. Tucks back up in front of the number 9 of Mike Kufel. See a bumper flying down the front stretch. I don't know if that was a little bit of net code on my side, but somebody ran over a bumper there. Or a fender. Not sure what it was, but David Meacham again looking to make his way back towards the front after getting caught in that early incident. Sean Happick, though, gets into the wall a couple laps ago, and he's right back on the 22 of Randy Cornwell, so he's putting the pressure on him for sure. Cornwell may be falling off a little bit here. Sean now gets to his outside, so he's going to take that outside line away from him. Randy Cornwell potentially going to be under pressure from two drivers here. Randy Post looking to dive to his inside as well. Even in turns 3 and 4, but Sean should get that run here on the exit now. Looks like these three drivers have kind of drove away just a little bit, but Travis George is going to be the next car scored behind these top three here. Sean really ripping the wall, though. It's a great run off of 4. Clears him. Sean Happick back in the lead here at Kansas.
Just in the nick of time, too. We are really close to the end of this stage.
Yeah, just a couple more laps here to go, as you mentioned, so we'll see if he can hold on to it, though. The 64 and the 93 are battling as well here, just outside the top 15. 64 looking to get a run down the backstretch, is going to dive it low. 93 is going to cut it off just a little bit. The 96 of Jason Kraft trying to follow David Meacham back through the field. Jason Kraft now up 10 spots from where he started this race, so he's looking to make a move as well. See if Travis George can kind of catch this kind of lead trio here of 3, but Sean Happick kind of starting to run away with it just a little bit now. 2/10 on Randy Cornwell.
Yeah, Cornwell gets a good run off from 4 every time.
Yeah, he does now, close to the bumper of Sean Happick. See, just about 160 miles an hour around the top side here.
I think Cornwell's going to get a good run right here. Let's see what he does.
Yeah, it does get a run. Sean, though, protecting his outside. Good move from Sean to recognize what's going on there. Randy, though, going to dive it low. We'll see if he's able to slide up in front of the 52. Clears him for
right
now.
Oh,
Sean with the crossover. Jinx, you owe me a Coke. Great move from both those drivers. Let's see if
that
Sean
low
does the
line's
same
gonna
thing.
Hurt Sean though.
Yeah, Sean should have done the same thing there, but he's holding on to it for now. But we know Randy's been getting those good runs off of turn 4. Randy Post now making a hard left down the front stretch as well. So now Randy Cornwell flipping this thing back on its head. Getting out in front of these two drivers. But if Randy Post and Sean can work together, they can get back to the 22 and see if they have something for them. Oh, yeah, Happy getting real tight, gets into the wall off 4.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to bring the 16 of Travis George around him. We stay on board, though, with Sean Happick. Now the 99 going to go around as well. 99 looking to slide up in front of the 52, but Sean slides right back down. He's going to be on the inside again. There's 2 to go here in stage number 1. Randy Cornwell's got a good lead on Randy Post. We'll see if he can hang on to it. Sean Happick now falling down. Scored in 6th place.
Yeah, I think that coming up off the bottom there in 3 and 4 might have hurt him too much and got them tires warmed up a little too much.
Yeah, but Randy Post now looking to attack Randy Cornwell. Too little, too late, though. Stage number 2 comes to a completion. Randy Cornwell, stage 2 winner. It's another stage win for him. Great racing up front, though, amongst the top 5 or 6 drivers. So stage number 2. In the books. A lot of improvement, though, from these rookie drivers from these last couple races. It's really good to see. We were kind of talking about it just the other day that we're kind of at that point in the season where these drivers are really starting to learn and get things figured out. Randy Cornwell. These drivers now making their way down pit road. Going to put some 4 fresh Goodyear tires and fill this thing up with some Sunoco race fuel. Hey, Randy, this is the guys up here in the booth, man. You got a copy on us?
Yeah, I got you. What's up, fellas?
Oh, not a whole lot, man. Phenomenal run from you there at the end of stage 2. You've been kind of hanging out up front all week, but make a great crossover move there on Sean. You were really getting a good exit off turn 4, and you make that slide job work in turn 1, and you're able to get clear and make things happen from there. How does it feel to get another stage win here in the season?
Feels pretty good to pull that one off. I don't know if y'all are watching the last 2 laps of that, but I was turning it off to make sure I could save it on fuel.
Oh yeah, I didn't. I was on board with you there, but I didn't catch that, so that's makes it even more impressive.
Aggressively saving, I'm telling you. I didn't think I was going to make it.
Well, you're able to hold on to it, man, and again get another stage win here. we're talking about it on the broadcast. We had 2 Randys and 2 Seans up front, man. You guys were racing hard up there. It was amazing to see. And you think you're going to be able to hold these guys off here in this final stage?
I honestly think it's going to be who can get the lead and not like screw up saving fuel, if that makes sense. I kind of messed up and let him get to my outside when I didn't mean to, and I honestly didn't know if I was going to get it back. So I think that's going to play a factor.
Yeah, I mean, based off the fuel number that I got, I mean, potentially a 2-stop race here from this point on, barring any caution. So pit strategy and execution is going to be key here, man. But, you know,
And
we've
one
seen...
set of tires left, so it's going to be, what do you do?
Gotcha. Yeah, so definitely a little bit more strategy involved here in this one, which is what we love to see. But congratulations on another stage win, man. Good luck to you. We'll let you get back to your team.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, and I hope we put on a show to the end.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys are doing a great job of it so far, and I'm sure you'll continue, man. Good luck to you.
Thanks, buddy.
There you go. That was your stage 2 winner, Randy Cornwell. And another layer of drama to that we really didn't get to catch on the broadcast is, you know, making all those moves and still trying to save the fuel. So props to him for being able to get it done there and saving the fuel needed to get back to the start-finish line. And that would have been a disappointing feat to get all the way around there and then realize that you're not going to be able to make it up on fuel. So I'm glad that he's able to get it done, though, and get him some more stage points there. Again, getting all these EOLs handed out for the final time of the night. Well, there we see it. Lights are off on the pace car. You can hear the engines, the ignition's cutting. These guys know that there's going to be some fuel and some strategy involved here. Looking to maximize their fuel mileage here. All right, these drivers are coming in on turn 4 here. Going to be in the Geico restart zone once again. Great jump there for Randy Cornwell. Sean Happick diving below Sean Wilder. We saw these two having a brief moment there, battling. Randy Post getting a little loose off the exit of 4. That's going to allow him to lose a couple spots. Sean Wilder now ducking below him. And caution is out once again here at Kansas. Our third unscheduled caution of the night. Looks like Joel Ehrlich may be involved here. Oh yeah, just gets loose on the exit of 4, overcorrects it hard into the outside wall. No further contact from there, though. A couple cars going off track to avoid him, but just, the old stock car overcorrect. We've seen it happen a lot. Very easy to do in these kinds of cars here that we race.
Yeah, especially on cold tires.
Yeah, it goes about firewall deep into the outside wall off turn 4. That's a hard hit. I'm sure he's going to be getting evaluated in the infield care center after that one.
Yeah, that hurt for sure. I think he pulled a 720 on that one.
Yeah, a couple drivers electing to go down pit road, maybe not. Yeah, so these top drivers are staying out here looking to just extend that fuel as much as they can. One-stop race now at this point, if this continues here. So these drivers are going to be cutting it close. Based off what you've seen so far, do you have any favorites in the race? Do you have any favorites to be there at the end?
Yeah, I would definitely say Randy and Sean Happick is going to be up there, but Post is giving them a heck of a time too. So I would keep an eye on all three of those drivers.
Yeah, we saw them battling it out. See if they're able to maintain that pace here over the last stage. Lights off the pace car. Pace car rounding out turns 3 and 4 here, going to be making its infamous hard left turn into pit road. We'll see if he runs out of talent like he did at Phoenix here in the Cup Series. Just goes to show you that pit entry can be hard not only for the racers, but for the pace car drivers as well. Geico restart zone now. Green flag back out at Kansas. Randy Cornwell getting a huge jump on the inside. Sean and Randy Post really close there in turn 1. Randy Post falling off here just a little bit, but Sean getting a great run here. Caution is back out in the air once again. See if we can take a look and see what happened. Oh, that'll do it right there. Hop on board with the 77 to Trey Young. John Shields gets into the outside wall, gets loose, comes down in front of the field. The 86 clips him hard hit, and just kind of an awkward, I say rejoin. I mean, it's not necessarily what it was. It gets shot up the track, but 98 into the outside wall, and again, just gets loose trying to pull it off and comes down in front of the field. And we get a couple drivers collected in this one, but hop on board with Trey Young here before he makes his tumble on over. And there he goes. So that's going to bring out the yellow flag once again here at Kansas. Couple late cautions here down the stretch, but so far, I mean, we've had some pretty good racing up front. Hope that trend continues.
Or something. I don't know.
Hey, David, this is Bryce up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, we saw you kind of get collected early on in an incident, but able to make your way back up through the field here and get yourself starting on the outside potentially here on this next restart, man. How have you been able to fight your way back through the field and get yourself back up front?
Risk management.
That sounds about right.
Knowing when to go and when to just wait for a mess up.
Gotcha, yeah. Well, you've been able to manage it well. I mean, we've had a decent amount of green flag laps here tonight, a little bit more than we've had, so that's good to see. But getting a little bit of cautions down here on the late stretch. But how are you planning on trying to hold on to the front here and see if you can get yourself back in victory lane?
I don't know. What is it with these Randys? First post, now Cornwell. I'm just gonna try to make it to the fuel window and then see what I can do for Randy, I guess.
Gotcha. Well, again, man, it's been fun seeing you guys battle up front. We'll let you get back to it. Good luck to you here for the remainder of the race.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, that was the 13 of David Meacham again, collected in that early incident, but now starting on the front row here in stage number 3. Well, the final stage, really.
How many unscheduled cautions have we had so far? What, 4?
This is the 6th caution, and the first one was the conclusion of the stage, so we've had 5 unscheduled cautions.
Yeah, that was close. Yeah, it's not bad. It's definitely better than last week, so let's hopefully not have any more, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see this thing go green and try to get strategy for some of the first time this season here. A green flag back out. Randy Cornwell again starting on the inside line. Gets a great jump on the field. Sean Happick, though, is a driver that probably a little frustrated with himself after that stage 2 finish, was running up front. So I know he's going to be looking to make his way towards the front. And, of course, we just talked with David Meacham, and he's looking to stay up front here as well.
They are nose to tail up front.
Yes, they are. We see these top 10 to 15 drivers just so really pushing to try to get every inch that they can here. But yeah, close driving with the 52 and the 13. Travis George hop on now. He's going to take the second place spot here for this lap.
Haven't seen much of George up there tonight.
Well, he's been kind of lurking with the Jaws music. We've seen him kind of up in and around the top 5. I believe he gets himself a 3rd place finish at the end of the 2nd stage, or 3rd or 4th. So he's been up there 3 wide now in turn 3. Sean Wilder close on Jason Kraft.
Really close.
Would they hang on to it now? Sean kind of in the middle with teammate though behind him. We'll see if Mike can get to him and try to give him a push here. Or maybe he'll look to make it 4 wide. Thinks better of it. Close racing here though. Sean kind of getting ping pong in the middle.
George just got taken down off to the apron there.
Yeah, he's going to be a little bit off pace, but they keep it going. Back to 3 wide. And Randy Cornwell is loving what he's seeing in the mirror. Everybody now kind of starting to get settled in here just a little bit. First couple laps are always going to be a little chaotic as these guys try to fight and hang on to the spots that they get, or even try to gain a few. See Travis George now under a little bit of pressure from Mike Kuffel. Kian Fry now looking to make a move on Tim Rourke, and he does complete the pass. Maybe Tim fighting back on the outside. Well, I believe Kian has actually scored a lap down, so that is a pass, but not for position. Christian Noble now looking to make a run. Really good battling all night, though. Really between the top 10 and even kind of stretching out as far as the top 15 for some of these starts. Don't want to jinx it, but it looks like the racing is really starting to come into form here, and these drivers are starting to get it cleaned up, and we kind of see them all now single file. Maybe just trying to preserve till that first pit stop, or the last pit stop. Travis George, though, making a move on Jason Kraft here down the backstretch. We'll see if he can keep it on the inside and make it stick. Still side by side off turn 4. Travis George gets clear. Let's see if he hops up in front of this 96, which he does. So Travis George able to make the pass on Jason Kraft. That's going to put Travis in the 6th place spot. Jason Kraft, though, potentially looking to fight back here. But now he's under a little bit of pressure from Mike.
Yeah, it looks like Sean is coming up trying to catch 3rd off from Corey Moore.
Yeah, Sean moving up to the high line. We'll see if that comes back and hurts him a little bit here towards the end of the stage. But Sean really on the bumper now of Corey Moore looking to make a move. Corey trying to take that line away from him, but Sean able to keep it up just about a car length higher. 45, though, jumps back in front. We'll see if Sean stays there or dives below. Looks like Sean's just going to push him down the front stretch.
Yeah, why not a little bump drafting at Kansas?
Yeah, super speedway action. Why not? Looks like Sean, though, really drove it in deep in turn 1. May have cost him a little bit on the entry and on the center, but still riding that outside line is going to give him a good run on the backstretch. Not going to be good enough to get back to Corey Moore. Got Randy Cornwell, David Meacham, Corey Moore, Sean Happick, and Randy Post rounding out your top 5. Just behind him, we got Travis George, Jason Kraft, Mike Kuffel, Christian Noble, and Brad Dorr rounding out your top 10. So a lot of these guys within close proximity of each other. Sean Wilder looking to make his way back up into the top 10 as well. We've seen him up front. Brad now looking to make a move on Christian Noble. Christian gets a little bit up out of the groove, kind of in the center here. Sean Wilder looking to capitalize on it as well. Sean Wilder now jumping to the outside, looking to see if he can get some momentum on turns 1 and 2. Try to get that run on the backstretch. 60, just going to clear him, but Sean cuts back down on the inside. Close move there from Brad. Surprised that didn't end a little bit worse. Sean kind of gets back to his bumper, lets him know he's not happy with that move, but they all keep it clean, and we stay green flag racing. Mike Kufel now looking to put some pressure on Jason Kraft. Gets a little loose off turn 4. Lap 87 here. These guys are going to be coming up on their pit windows here shortly. Sean Wilder Happick having a close call with the wall.
Oh, 7 car got into, I think that's a 64. They kept it straight.
Able to hold on to it, so a slight bit of contact, but no harm, no foul, just a little bit of time lost. Didn't really get a chance to do it here at Nashville last race, but I think this is a good time now to go ahead and let these ponies purr with a little bit of crank it up action. There you have it. Starting to see some of these drivers making their way down to pit road. David Meacham able to get back out to the lead here at Kansas. But we'll see who can make the most of these green flag pit stops here. Again, we're in that window, so we should start seeing some of these drivers up front come down in the next handful of laps.
Car up in the wall on 1 and 2. That was close.
Yep, Sean under a little bit of pressure now from Travis George. See David Meacham making his way on a pit road now. So that cycles Randy Cornwell back out to the lead.
Got a lot of them coming in this round.
Sean Happick looking to stretch it out, though. One more lap at least. We now see a lot of drivers, as Will mentioned, coming down pit road. It looks like we got about 7, 8, 9 cars on pit road.
I have not heard anything. There's Sean right there. He's coming in this lap.
Let's hop on board with him and see how well he can execute this green flag pit stop. Gets her woed down here, gets onto the apron nice and clean. Could have been a little bit more aggressive on pit road, but doesn't get a penalty, so that's the main thing.
Yeah, it's really tough. You can very easily kick your truck sideways and lose track, or even not even slow down enough. It's a 45-mile-per-hour speed limit on pit road, so.
And here we see a good gaggle of cars here. First time I'm able to use that word tonight. Got about 6 or 7 cars now, all coming back onto the track at once. So we'll see who will get the better of this. And Justin Nava, one of those drivers, I mentioned him at the top of the broadcast. A quiet night for him, but he's making his way back up into the mix. Looking to see what he can get done here tonight. KT McCann scored in the first place, able to get him a couple bonus points.
And there's a caution flag.
Well, that's going to mix a lot of things up. From 4th on back, scored a lap down. Of course, they'll get that lap back, potentially. But that makes things quite interesting. If you get a idea on who that caution was, I believe I may see it here. Oh, here it is, and I think this is part of that group that we saw come off pit road together. Christian Noble close behind Chris Weiniger, and Noble gets a little loose, and so does Chris, and nowhere to go. Chris just gets loose in front of Christian Noble, and that sends him around in turn 4. Yeah, Chris just on cold tires kind of gets into the seam off turns 3 and 4, and upsets the truck a little bit and sends him around down the front stretch. So, I mean, pretty good break for KT McCann. I mean, he's been scored a lap down for a majority of this race after an early incident. I'm sure he's going to have to come back down pit road, of course, and he's going to have to top off, but nonetheless, that gets him back on the lead lap, and there we go. We see him diving down pit road here now. Looks like he may have had to wait for a driver there. I'm not sure. He stops just before pit road.
Yeah, he had to let another car go by.
It looks like I've got potentially Sean Wilder now scored in the lead. We'll see how that cycles back out. I mean, that's going to put KT on fresh tires, but he's going to have to make his way back through the field. I think right now Sean Happick is in a pretty good spot. Coming in a little bit later, so he's going to have a couple laps fresher tires, and of course not really being able to get that much heat in him with the early caution there after the pit cycle. So Sean Happick should be sitting in a pretty good spot here. We'll see if he'll be able to capitalize on that. Hey, what's up, KT? This is Bryce up here in the booth, man.
What's up? Y'all watching this mess?
Yeah, I mean, looks like it's cleaned up a little bit from what we've had, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe you've been kind of scored a lap down for a majority of the race after an early incident, and I think that caution kind of helps you out and puts you back on the lead lap, so You think you'll have anything for these boys here with the last stretch here of laps?
I've got absolute zeros considering the getting spun out in the pits cost me a set of tires. So I have to double stint these. So no, I got nothing. That track position's everything, and that wreck earlier killed me.
Gotcha. Well, good luck to you, man. And looks like we're going to be having about 15 or 16 left here to go when the green flag drops. If we get a couple more cautions, maybe you can put yourself in a good spot and try to be there at the end.
I'm just trying to get what I can get.
Yep,
Everybody's on freshies, and I'm on olds. We'll see.
10-4. Well, that was the 95 of KT McCann. Another, sounds like another unfortunate set of circumstances for him, but despite all the wave rounds and everything that's going on, it actually scores him back to the lead. Interestingly enough, I didn't have that on my bingo card after that caution, but you heard him on an older set of tires, so we'll see. Track position, though, it is important. And it looks like we're going to extend this one more time as a lot of these guys are having to wave around and get caught up here. That caution kind of coming out at an unfortunate time with the majority of the field a lap down. Oh, these drivers lining back up. That cycles Sean Wilder up to the front and Sean Happick as well. Scored third. As obviously, though, you can see there's a lot of lap cars in front of him here, so the grid kind of all muffled up here. Unless my scoring sheet just hasn't updated, but that's going to give Sean Wilder and KT a huge advantage, though, if the scoring sheet is correct. Sean's going to have to fight his way through all these cars to try to get back up there to him.
That was 34 car got run over
by a reindeer on Christmas Eve. Oh, yeah, 13 of David Meacham. Just, yeah. Looking to be aggressive on the restart and just gets into the right rear of Kendon Cook and sends him into the outside wall. Well, that might help out Sean Happick, though, if these drivers get cycled back around. There you go, 76 degrees, though, outside, and 78 degrees Fahrenheit on the track temp. Is Sean Happick now trying to get her woe down. Catching back up to the pace car. All right, so lights should be coming off on the pace car this time by, if I'm not mistaken. And that caution is a huge break for drivers like Sean Happick and Randy Cornwell. We saw all the lap traffic that was ahead of them on that last restart. Now that is able to get itself sorted out from iRacing. So you heard it from KT. I mean, down a set of tires, so he's having to make these tires last. And Sean Happick, Randy Cornwell, Jason Kraft, Corey Moore, Travis George, Mike Kufeld, Justin Nava, and onwards are going to look to try to take advantage of this restart here. 11 to go when we cross the start-finish line again. So, Will, I think it's safe to say it officially is go time. Thank you guys as well for all the support that's in the chat. We appreciate you guys supporting your favorite drivers out here tonight. Let's see if these drivers can get a good restart. Sean Wilder gets a good restart. It looks like KT electing to try to help out his teammate. We heard him talk about those tires, and Sean Happick gets a great start behind Sean Wilder as well. So we'll see if Sean can get to Sean just like he did earlier and try to make something happen here. Sean, though, looking for his second win of the season. Sean Wilder, that is, looking for a second win. Sean Happick, though, looking to see if he has something to say about it. Randy Cornwell behind him in third place also has a win this season. So some consistency out of those two. Again, we'll see if Sean Happick can find his way around Sean Wilder and get his way into victory lane for the first time here on High Velocity.
Yeah, we're down to only 10 laps to go, too.
Yeah, and these drivers are really 3-4 wide here throughout the pack. Again, these drivers know it's go time. A lot of movement. Aaron Creighton gets into the outside wall, hooks the 84 down the backstretch. Caution flag out in the air once again. Caught just the tail end of that. We'll have to hop on board with Aaron and see what happens. I don't know if he got loose or if he got tight or what, but we saw him get into the inside, or excuse me, the outside wall off turns 1 and 2. Yeah, just riding that outside line, and it gets a little loose, kind of having to chase it down the track, and collects the 84 of Patrick Camburn. It looks like, oh no, Clint Hackett gets involved as well, the 31 of Matthew Chase as well. So 2-car pileup turns into a 4-car incident there. Aaron just trying to get disconnected from Patrick there and kind of shoots a hard left on the backstretch, and literally nowhere to go for Clint Hackett there, and gets tagged by Aaron, and that shoots him down into Matthew Chase. So a huge impact for Matthew Chase as well. Clint Hackett may be okay, but that's a hard hit for Matthew there. Really unfortunate. Well, these late cautions just keep adding more and more drama to this finish here. Sean Happick kind of at the advantage on that last restart, being just behind Sean Wilder, but now Sean Happick's going to be on the outside. Typically not the favorable spot you want to be on a restart, so we'll see if he can try to limit that disadvantage there.
Lights are off on pace car.
Yes, they are. So we've got a pair of Sean's on the front row. Again, Sean Happick was able to get a great restart behind Sean Wilder in that third place spot. Now going to be on Wilder's outside. Going to put him at a little bit of a disadvantage here on this, hopefully what turns into the final restart here.
Did you say the outside was a disadvantage?
I would just, I mean, not the outside, but just starting on the outside. You're able to time the restart up a little bit better usually when you're behind the control car.
We're going to have 6 laps to go, I believe.
Yep, 6 to go when we take the green flag this time by, so.
And I think our 2 front rows, our 2 Seans, are going to be door banging on this one.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens, though. Drivers now entering the restart zone. Randy Cornwell looking to start this race for Sean Wilder. The inside line gets a great jump on this restart, but Sean Happick still on the outside of the 22 for now. Tucks on inside, though, on the bottom line.
Yeah, he kind of held back a little more than what I was expecting him to. I don't know if he was just trying to be extra careful so he didn't get a black flag.
I'm not sure, but we got some more drama. Yellow flag out in the air once again. And just looking at this preview, not going to be looking good. Towards the back of the field, though, David Meacham gets a run on the inside and takes it 3 wide between Bobby Grady and the number 81. Going into turn 1, we got a car slow off pace. Yeah, just Aaron Creighton slow on the bottom there. Not sure if he was having an issue or what was going on, but they're kind of 4 wide in turn 1. And everybody just trying to fight for some space and nowhere to go. David Meacham trying to hold on to it, though. A little bit of contact there with the 68, but I don't think anything that's going to affect him too much, apart from just a little bit of extra heat in the tire. So now, Sean Happick again getting to start behind Sean Wilder. I think that's going to prove as an advantage here. I think this will put us with a green-white checkered at this restart. And I'm so excited, I'm about to pee myself, so I'll be back. Well, once again, we have chaos towards the end of the race.
Yeah. I mean, I still think it was better than last week, but I would say the second half of this is definitely a bit messier than the front half was.
Yeah, we had a good solid run here at the first half. These drivers, though, just really feeling the pressure as the race dwindles on down. So it looks like we'll have a green-white checkered here. First one of the night. See if these drivers can get this thing cleaned up here a little bit. And don't sleep on Justin Nava, their third car on the inside. I had a feeling he was going to make his way back up towards the front, and there he is. And, of course, Jason Kraft making his season debut here tonight's just on his outside in the third row in the bright pink number 96 there. So a lot of these drivers that are up front here have been able to make their way up front for majority of the night. We see the number 9 of Mike Kufel up there as well. So a lot of drivers looking to get something going here. The first 2 drivers, though, in the front row both already have a win this season. We'll see if we'll have a repeat winner for the first time or if we'll get a new winner here tonight at Kansas. Green flag here back at Kansas, hopefully for the final time of the night. Randy Cornwell gets a great start, though, on the outside. Gonna tuck in behind Sean Wilder here. We know Cornwell's been strong off the exit of 4. We'll see if that trend continues here. So see if Sean Happick has anything for him, though. 2 drivers battling hard up front. Sean Wilder, Randy Cornwell coming to the white flag here. Door banging. This could open the door for Sean Happick for his first win of the season. We'll see what happens. Sean Wilder hugging the bottom, coming up on Randy Cornwell. Close there. Going to be side drafting down the back straightaway, side by side in turns 3 and 4. We'll see who will have the edge again. Randy Cornwell's been strong on the outside of 3 and 4. He's going to try to pinch the 99 down. We'll see if these drivers make contact. Close battling.
Really close.
They're door banging.
It's going to be Randy.
Oh, too close to call. I think Randy gets him, though. Randy Cornwell gets the edge on Sean Wilder. What a hell of a finish. All those cautions were worth it for that finish. Hell of a run from those boys here. Beating and banging coming to the line. Take a look, go back on that and see that. That was a hell of a run. And look at how close that finish is here, ladies and gentlemen. Randy Cornwell gets it here at Kansas Motor Speedway, or Super Speedway, I believe Kansas calls it. Hell of a finish there, though. Between the top 2 and Sean Happick close behind in third. Let's see if we can get these drivers pulled up here for a post-race interview. And sure enough, with our first driver of the night, Sean Happick, first podium of the season. How does it feel, man? Those 2 were beating and banging in front of you. We were hoping that maybe they would have taken themselves out and you had something for them, but nonetheless, a podium finish for you here tonight at Kansas.
You know what? I'll take. I got a 0x. I got a couple bonus points. I got a podium. I led a couple laps. I don't know who got the fastest lap. Probably not me. But and I got some pretty good stage points. I had to save fuel on that second stage, so I had to give up a few spots. But overall, not bad. I know Cornwell. I'm sure he'll tell you himself. He had the restart of the race right there. I thought I was going to get around him there on the bottom, and I thought I was going to be able to take care of Wilder, to be honest with you, and hold off Cornwell, but that's not how it played out.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about that on the broadcast. Cornwell got a hell of a start there. I kind of was talking about you being in a little bit of an advantageous position, starting just behind Sean Wilder, but that didn't seem to matter with that restart that Cornwell was able to get there.
No, I kind of burped it a little bit. I thought he was going, but he changed it up a little bit, so I had to check up just a little bit. And then they both kind of got a little on me. So that was a heck of a race by those guys. Travis George, I was racing with. Randy Post had a real good race. I know he probably didn't get to finish there he wanted, but he was up front. Bunch of good racing up front, man. I'm real happy with it.
Yeah, we saw some clean driving throughout the night. It got a little rough around the edges there towards the end half of the race there, but all in all, a finish like that, man, kind of helps make up for it. So congratulations, man, on your first podium of the season, and hopefully we'll see you up there on the podium again before this thing's all said and done. And as you mentioned, a good point state for you. That's really going to help you, and not that you were on that IPL list, but of course just creating an even further buffer for yourself. So congratulations once again, man. And before we let you go, is there anybody you want to shout out or thank?
Oh, well, just y'all for doing that. The great broadcast. I love going back and watching y'all guys. Even with Will, didn't know he'd be so good. He turns out he can actually talk. So, yeah, y'all do a great job up there. Thank the wife for letting me play with this all the time. Probably too much of the time, and just something to build on right here. So now on to the road course. We'll see how that goes next week.
Yeah, I heard a little bit of chatter throughout the chat that there might be a new driver joining the league next week. We'll have to see. I don't know. I think I might be going out of town for the broadcast, so we'll see. Kansas road course looks like fun, man. Congratulations to you again.
Oh yeah. I seen that new guy. I think his name is Spice Brontain.
Yeah, not sure. We'll have to see how that plays out, but congratulations to you again, man.
All right, thanks guys.
All right, that was the number 52 of Sean Happick. Now we've got the number 99 of Sean Wilder joining us in the booth. Hell of a finish, man. You and Randy were, I mean, literally door banging coming to the finish there. He got a hell of a restart, man. I mean, you had the control there, and Randy just gets a great jump, but you're able to, hold him off there for a good bit there, but hell of a finish between you two.
Yeah, thanks. Kind of disappointed. Couldn't squeak it out there at the end, but I didn't have the pace really, and I kind of got lucky on the green flag stops. I was pitting when that yellow came out in the middle green flag stop, so that gave me good track position. And yeah, he did get a great restart on that last one. He was able to stay right on the door there.
Yeah, well, definitely understand. We all know how competitive we can be, and of course, nothing feels better than getting a win. But hell of a performance from you tonight. You were able to run up front for majority of the night, man, and nonetheless, you and Randy both are winners in the series so far, and Randy's the first one to go back to back. But that was a hell of a finish, man. I think for all those guys that go back and watch it, they're going to enjoy seeing that. I mean, you guys were racing hard and showing these guys that it can be done. So hell of a finish, man. You guys were putting on a hell of a run up there up front, and it was definitely a blast to call up here in the booth. It looked like it was stressful in the cockpit view.
Yeah, it was. It was a fun last lap. Just it didn't turn out the way I wanted. But congrats to Randy. He was up. He was leading the race most of the time. So I mean, he probably deserved it more anyway. So on to the next.
Gotcha, 10-4. Well, before we let you go, is there anybody you want to shout out or thank?
Oh no, just our teammates. K&W been doing a lot of team practice. So I appreciate those guys. We're all get together and run some hour-long practices a couple times or at least once a week. So that's been helpful.
Gotcha, 10-4. Well, congratulations again. Second place for Sean Wilder here. A hell of a finish between him and the number 22 of Randy Cornwell. But speaking of Randy Cornwell, we now got him on board with us. Hell of a run, hell of a restart, man. Let's hear about it and talk about it, because that may have been the move of the night, the restart of the night for sure.
Oh, a little luck goes a long way, don't it? I thought I was going to get the black on that restart. I really did. I stayed with him, but what I couldn't believe, I've watched it 5 times while y'all interviewed everybody else. I could not believe he let me have the outside.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about it on the broadcast all night. The high line, obviously the preferred line when it comes to Kansas, and you were showing speed all night on the top, especially coming out of 3 and 4. So Sean gives it up to you there, and I'm sure your eyes lit up like a deer in headlights when you saw that he gave you the outside.
Yeah, when he was blocking the bottom down the back there, I was like, okay. What do you do? I mean, you try your best. And then I got to shout out to KT here. Probably 8 years ago on this thing, he taught me some stuff on the outside to win here, and I used it tonight. So that's my teammate over there at Misfits.
Absolutely. Well, Randy, you're the first repeat winner here of the season in the rookie trucks, man. How does that feel? You joined us for a little bit there in the brief Xfinity stint that we had last season, and you come on board with us here full time in the rookie truck series, and so far, man, you're making your name known. So how does it feel to be the first repeat winner of the season?
Feels pretty good. feel fortunate and lucky in some of these races. Everything has to play out perfect, right? Like the cautions, the lap traffic, stay out of trouble. Just lucky and fortunate to have such a fun place to race on Monday and Sunday nights.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, hell of a finish between you and Sean Wilder there. You guys were literally door banging there coming to the line, and it was really close. I posted the screenshot there in the Discord of just how close that finish was, man. And so that was awesome to watch up here in the booth. And like I told Sean, I'm glad I was up here watching it, not behind the cockpit because it looked stressful. But nonetheless, man, you're able to inch him out literally and get the win here. Again, first repeat winner of the season, man. Before we let you on out here, is there anybody you want to thank or shout out?
I just want to thank you guys for everything you do, for the time and effort that goes into putting these leagues on, adminning them, broadcasting them. KT, I'm a Team Misfits for all they do, keeping me calm sometimes. I really thought I gave this one away when he stayed out and I didn't. I could have stayed out and trapped everybody. Thought I gave a good finish away. Fortunately, caution fell away, so just sometimes things work out. Next week, you'll see me about 20th, so I'm not a road racer.
Yeah, we were talking to Sean here. There may be a special guest appearance here for a Kansas road course. I'm not sure. We'll have to stay tuned for that. But nonetheless, man, again, congratulations to you. First repeat winner of the season, and on to some road course racing next week, man.
Yes, sir. And thank y'all for all you do. And I look forward to just surviving next week and getting back to more of what I'm comfortable with.
Absolutely. Well, there it was. The number 22, Randy Cornwell, again, able to get the win here and become the first repeat winner of the season. That was one hell of a race. We'll get into our post-race results. Of course, we just interviewed the top three of Randy Cornwell, Sean Wilder, and Sean Happick. But fourth place spot here, we've got the number 16 and Travis George. And an awesome finish there from Mike Kufel as well here. Top five, we heard Sean Wilder talk about how those K&W guys have been putting up those practice sessions and really good. I'm sure those guys feel good that that's paying off here. And Justin Nava, another hyperdrive driver that's able to make his way up into the sixth place spot. Quiet night for him, but nonetheless, good points day for him. Jason Kraft making his season debut here at Kansas Speedway, rounding out the seventh place spot, and got the number 64 of Hunter Jock. I hope I'm saying that right, and it's not Jacques, but, heck, you never know. Those French names are a little interesting. I have one, so I know all about it. Corey Moore in the number 45 ran up front for majority of the night, and he's able to come away with a ninth place finish. And then Randy Post here as well ran towards the front end and able to round out your top 10 for the night. Bryce Tucker, Dustin Bloodworth, Chris Winiger, Christian Noble, and Thomas Fuller rounding out your top 15. Just behind them, you've got Michael Mangus, Aaron Creighton, and Tim Rourke, 15th through 18th. So a lot of movement here on the boards. Of course, the EOLs provided a little bit of an interesting strategy for the night, but nonetheless, Clint Hackett scored in your 19th spot here. Andre Carvalho in 20th. David Meacham, we saw him have speed, but just not able to stay out of trouble here. He scored in 21st. Of course, Kenan Cook got involved with him on that last restart there. The restart before last, having a little bit of contact. Bobby Grady as well, another fast driver that found himself towards the rear of the field with a couple mistakes. Patrick Camburn, KT McCann, we heard him have a couple of issues as well. So he scored in the top 25 here and then running out of breath. So I'll let you guys take a look at the final results here from that point on. But nonetheless, a hell of a race and a hell of a finish here at Kansas Speedway.
Yeah, it was a fun race. Again, the first half was definitely a lot cleaner than the second, but we're at a forwards momentum, so hopefully it gets cleaned up even from here. Next week, obviously, we won't have very many cautions with it being a road race.
Yeah, absolutely. Our first road course race of the season here, and a little bit of a doozy here. These drivers here are going to be camping out at Kansas this week as we see you guys next week for a little bit of road course racing here at Kansas Speedway. Stay tuned for that. We ran a couple laps here earlier today, and we'll see how it fans out for these guys here turning left and now throwing in a couple right turns in the mix as well. So good luck to all the drivers. Again, a hell of a finish, and looks like the racing is starting to clean up a little bit, even if it doesn't feel like it. The caution count seems to be going down just a little bit, and we're having a lot closer racing as well. So cautions are inevitable, and they are going to happen. But nonetheless, that's been Will and Bryce up here in the booth. Thank you guys for tuning in and being part of it. All the guys in the chat interacting and rooting on your favorite drivers, and we'll see you guys here tomorrow for some Xfinity racing at, I believe we've got Vegas tomorrow if I'm not mistaken. So stay tuned for that, and we will see you guys.